Think it's impossible to spend $5 per day only on food, including eating out? It's possible. People tell me, hey Dan, you are crazy. There's no possible way that you can eat on $5 per day. I can't even eat one meal with $5. If you go to McDonald's, you're probably right. I mean, McDonald's has got some McDoubles and McChickens and stuff. You could probably pull it off, but I'm going to teach you how to eat on $5 per day every single day. Feel great, be healthy, save big time money so you can do the things that you want to do in life. Let's jump right into it. So, I'm just going to talk about power foods today that you need to get into your diet so that way you can eat on $5 per day or less. Now, before we jump right into this, I just want to talk about what people are actually spending on food. So, this is going to be according to USDA, United States Department of Agriculture. And they use this when they figure out how many like food stamps or supplemental nutrition assistance programs, SNAP, I think they call it now, to give families. So the USDA thinks that to feed a family of 4 with 2 young children and 2 adults, that a moderate cost diet would be $1,299 per month. That works out to a little bit more than $10 per day per person. I'm going to teach you how to do it with 5. With $5 per day per person for a family of 4, you're going to be eating $600 a month in food. So if you're on supplemental nutrition assistance program, you're going to have some extra food stamps, but most of us are not, so you're going to have some extra money instead. So number 1, you got to go to Costco, you got to go to Sam's Club, whatever your bulk food store of choice is. We got to buy this stuff in bulk. That's how we're really going to be able to cut costs down on food. So at my local Costco, I can get a 25-pound bag of rice for around $18 for some pretty decent rice. So using those numbers, 65 cents a pound approximately for rice, and there's 1,656 calories in a pound of dried rice. That works out to 4 cents per 100 calories. That is going to be your most affordable food staple is rice. Learn how to cook it. If you don't already know, it's super simple. YouTube somebody else's cooking rice because this is not a cooking channel. Next up, dried beans. Tons of third world countries, they eat rice and beans because when you combine rice and beans, it forms like a complete protein, apparently. So this is a staple in a lot of second and third world countries, and both extremely inexpensive. If you're buying dried beans in bulk, we're talking about $1.25 per pound easily. 1,511 calories in a pound of dried beans. This works out to 8 cents per 100 calories for beans. If you can do half of your diet in rice and beans, man, you're going to be doing really good. If you did a full 2,000 calorie diet with just rice and beans, and I'm not recommending that, but if you were able to do that, you would eat on $1.22 per day, assuming you got half your calories from rice and half your calories from beans. So that's just how powerful these 2 foods are. And we're going to go through some more because you're going to get real tired of rice and beans, and you're not going to be able to do that for your entire life. So your next main carbohydrate are going to be noodles. We all love those. If you buy them in bulk, make sure when you're buying a box of noodles, they've shrinkflationed a lot of noodles. That's where the price doesn't go up, but the size goes down. So they've shrinkflationed a lot of noodles into 12-ounce boxes. Skip those. Get these 16-ounce boxes. We're not gonna let them get the best of us. We want all of our entire pound of noodles when we get this. You can easily get a pound of noodles for $1.50, 1,685 calories in a pound of noodles. Works out to 9 cents per 100 calories. Super power food, super inexpensive for when you're tired of rice and beans on the carb front. Oh, we all need our protein. So let's jump into how we're going to get inexpensive protein. You got to cut out the shrimp and the steaks and the fun stuff. I'm only going to recommend fairly lean protein because, yeah, you can get a ton of calories out of a pound of bacon, but it's not very good for you. So if we're going to do this $5 a day thing, you got to be healthy. You got to feel good enough every day to keep cooking, keep going to Costco, and keep doing this. So I'm only bringing up foods that are relatively low in fat. Chicken is going to be the first protein that we're going to talk about. Chicken breast, which is the leanest chicken you can buy. You can easily buy in bulk for $3 a pound or less when on sale. There is 500 calories in a pound of chicken. Basically pure protein. Works out to 60 cents per 100 calories. If you were eating 20% of your daily calories in protein, then you'd only need, that would be like 400 calories of your daily diet. So you could do that with 4 or 6 ounces of chicken. Not to mention you're going to get protein from the rice and beans that you're eating, and some from the noodles as well, especially if you're buying whole wheat noodles. So chicken eggs are also exceptional. A little higher in fat, but I hear it's good fat. So we're going to keep these on the list. Eggs fluctuate a lot, so eggs can be a little bit scary, but I think you can do like $2.50 a dozen for the most part, especially if you're buying in bulk and you're getting, a few dozen at a time. $2.50 a dozen. There are 924 calories in a dozen eggs. Works out to 27 cents per 100 calories. Protein powerhouse and super inexpensive. Just to put that in perspective, if you ate only eggs for your entire caloric needs for the day, you'd end up just a little bit over $5. I don't want you to eat that many eggs. You don't want to eat that many eggs. But that's how inexpensive it is. So the more foods that are under that $5 per day, if we ate solely that food, the better, because then we're going to have room in our budget to do some fruits and vegetables, which are less calorie dense, but like you need them. They're going to make you feel good. They're going to make things taste good. You got to have them. So just want to touch on ground beef. You're going to have to cut out the steaks and the roasts to live on this $5 today. So let's just talk about ground beef. If you're able to get like 85-15 ground beef, which is not, it's kind of in the middle of how lean that is. So we're talking 85% lean, 15% fat. You can easily get that for $5 per pound. And there is 975 calories in a pound of 85% lean ground beef. Works out to 51 cents per 100 calories. So a little bit less expensive than chicken breast per calorie. That's because it's going to be a little bit higher in fat, but it's not too high in fat. Super healthy for you. So, sort of lastly, I just want to talk about fruits and vegetables. If you're a calorie, if you're a cents per calories stickler, man, you're not going to do that good in the fruits and vegetables department because they're not very calorie dense. So you need fruits and vegetables. They taste good. And I don't need to tell you why you need them. You know why you need them. We need to have some money left over in our budget to eat some fruits and vegetables. In a perfect world, if you could spend $3 on getting your daily calories and then $2 on fruits and vegetables, you would feel real good, especially if you're eating the healthiest fruits and vegetables and healthiest calories to get you to your 2,000 calories per day. Just want to touch on some of the more affordable and nutrient-dense fruits and vegetables. Apples and bananas are super low cost. You're actually going to get some calories out of these things too. Super high in fiber and vitamins and minerals that are good for you. So keep apples and bananas on hand. I kept potatoes. Potatoes are typically considered a starch or a carbohydrate. I'm going to put them in here because, if you just boil like a pound of potatoes, I mean, there's not very many calories in it. It's when you start adding all the butters and the oils and the heavy whipping cream that potatoes end up with a ton of calories in them. So a pound of boiled potatoes, I need to know this, is only like 354 calories. So I leave potatoes in the vegetable department because they are not very calorie dense. Like a pound of potatoes, if you buy them in bulk, it's like $1 a pound. You get 354 calories. So it's not a great bargain in terms of calories, but it's a great bargain in terms of your health. So I leave these in the vegetable department. Definitely get some potatoes. Super good for you until you add a bunch of fats or deep fry them. If you can get some like collard greens, kale greens, turnip greens, you can get these in the bunch or you can get them like in the bag. Either way, if you can sprinkle those on the foods that you're making, you're going to end up with almost 0 calories out of these things until you add fats. So I haven't brought in any calories for butter or for oil that you add when you're cooking. If I did, you would find that to be the absolute cheapest calorie out there. You need them because you got to cook. So you got to use some butter and some oil. And that is just going to be a calorie bonus to you. But I just want to bring up all the foods that you can, really focus on cooking and really focus on buying when you're at Costco. So that way you can make a lot of meals with these things and you'll end up adding some calories with oils and some calories with butters. And that's okay. I don't want you to count every calorie and go, oh, okay, well, we got 5 cents left, so I'm going to eat 125 calories of rice right now. You could drive yourself crazy doing this. I just want you to eat a lot of the foods that we talked about, and there's plenty of others I missed too. If you can do basic math, especially like bread, I think if you grab a loaf of bread and you go, there's 1,000 calories in this loaf. This loaf's $3. Do your math. You'll find it's pretty calorie dense. And so it's a great staple for you. I just brought up some of my favorites, some of the healthiest. So don't give up. We're talking about $5 per day, family of 4, $600 per month. You're going to save so much money. You're going to feel great. You're not going to have to go out. You're going to get your meal prep done earlier in the week. If you were, according to the United States Department of Agriculture, an average family of 4, you're going to save $700 per month with this one change. It's like crazy to me because people will move for $700. They will move to a different apartment or a different house or a different city, like way further away, so they can save $700 a month. Like, you know how hard it is to move and how much it costs to move? I mean, you have to put all of your things into a truck. I mean, you got to rent the truck too. And then you got to move across town for $700 a month. Oh, because I can't afford the rent. It's so much easier to just adjust your diet to get your money together because you can adjust your diet today. Stop going out to eat today. Stop eating shrimp and steak today and stop buying processed bullshit today. Get out of the stupid freezer section and buy what we're talking about buying. It's not going to taste very good at first, but it will in the long run. Your taste buds will reset and they will start to enjoy these things profoundly. If you ever look at this, like blue zones, which is like there's these 5 areas of the world that people live to be 100 years old, way more often than anywhere else in the world. So people are living way longer in these places. And if you look at their diets, they're super heavy in these inexpensive carbohydrates. And they're super low in meats and expensive stuff that we consider to be healthy in the United States or healthy in I guess, the industrialized world. We consider, oh, more protein, more protein, more protein. Well, how come people are living the longest when they're eating the least amount of protein? It's totally crazy. So if you go to a more carbohydrate dense diet, you're going to save a lot of money and you're going to be more likely to live longer. Look up the Blue Zones diets. If you don't believe me, you can see what they all are. Tons of potatoes, tons of rice, tons of fruits and vegetables, not a lot of protein. Some of them, like Loma Linda, California, no meat at all. Vegetarian diet, live to 100 years old all the time. So save a lot of money in 100 years. At least you can enjoy living your life. Last thing I just want to say is, I hear a lot of people say, well, what's the point of living? What's the point of living if I can't eat food that tastes good? This is a strong point. I got to give it to you. This is a super strong point. But here's the thing with taste. If you're eating delicious food all the time, it starts to not taste as good. It starts to just get kind of average. Well, it works the other way around too. If you're eating food that tastes not great, but is healthy for you, it starts to just taste average. And then when you do go out to eat and you do eat something that was typically really delicious, oh my God, it's like that first time you ever tasted a piece of pizza, it's like the best thing ever because you're so used to this lower level of eating. It's a real treat to have some French fries, or it's a real treat to have a slice of pizza instead of it just being kind of the norm. So you're going to experience the same amount of joy from eating no matter what you eat. The only thing you can control is when you experience that joy. Do you want to experience it now and then feel bad later? Or do you want to experience it later, feel good now and later? That's discipline. Don't beat yourself up when you fall off of this. It's way hard. If you can stick to it 80% of the time, you're doing awesome. The more meals we eat like this, the more we're going to be at this $5 a day. The year is 2025. When I'm giving this advice, prices are current for January of 2025. I watch a lot of videos that they must have been posted in the 1980s because they're getting Taco Bell for $5 for a family of 4. So if you're watching this anytime near 2025, this information is not out of date. You can do it. You can eat on $5 a day in 2025. Get ready to save some money. I'm Dan Colton. And if you got any value out of this video, please like and subscribe. Stay tuned for more. We're going to teach you how to go from renegade to rich.